Studies have recently shown that the number of incarcerated adults in the U.S. has grown dramatically, more than tripled between 1980 through 2000. Davis and Schlafer 2017, showing a rapid increase of population of children with incarcerated parents, in which 2.6 million minor children are affected. Kielstrand, Rank, and Eddy 2018. The underlying issue and stigma regarding this unique population is that children of parental incarceration are in fact 6 times more likely to be incarcerated as adults than their peers with no history of parental incarceration. While some studies offer several contributions to existing literature focused on children of parental incarceration, Kielstrand et al. 2018 recognized that the main difficulty was the measure of parental incarceration. This study aims to examine externalizing behaviors as they relate to the overall growth and development of children of incarcerated parents over time. Specifically, the researcher examines the impact of parental incarceration across situations and contexts, where the researcher proposes the research question to be, how does parental incarceration affect the child's externalizing behaviors and the parent-to-child relationship? The researcher proposes to conduct a longitudinal diverse research study on the affected child's growth and development, hypothesizing that children and youth who have a history of parental incarceration will have long-term elevated externalizing behaviors that will be manifested in the child's growth into adulthood. The null hypothesis of the study states that there will be a significant difference between the development of children of parental incarceration and children with no history of parental incarceration. This particular research investigation is imperative to the field of counseling as clinicians can become more motivated into designing studies and utilizing creative techniques that are pertinent to the treatment of externalizing behaviors across adolescence, preventing this population from becoming incarcerated adults in the future. A total of 361 fifth-grade students and their families were recruited from 12 randomly selected local elementary schools in at-risk neighborhoods in Los Angeles County using stratified random sampling. Covariates of these participants reflected local demographics of the identified impoverished neighborhoods, specifically residents from the lower to middle socioeconomic classes. Demographics of the selected participants revealed a fairly diverse group of families, 53% Latino, 29% Black, and 15% white. Approximately half of the targeted youth were boys and half were girls. Assessments were completed throughout the school year, fall of 5th grade, and springs of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th grades, which are ages 10 to 16 years old, totaling 6 assessments that are to be measured and monitored over time. The researcher utilized a subscale of child behavior checklist where the child's externalizing behaviors were assessed 6 times throughout the school year. In this study, parents rated their child on 30 behaviors using a 3-point scale. Based on this given data, CBCL yields a ratio scale. The Cronbach's alphas at different time points were comparable to those in the normative sample. This indicated great reliability and validity of the utilization of the given instrument as it showed much internal consistency. The second instrument that will be observed in the study will measure the parent-to-child relationship, which was assessed through the parent's responses to questions on the parent interview at baseline and was based on a 2 5-point Likert scaled questionnaire. In this questionnaire, parents rated how well they got along with the child and how entertaining the activities were with their child. Based on this data, the parent interview yields a nominal scale. These 2 categories were correlated for fathers and for mothers, where the final score used a mean response from the 2 questions. Although the parents' scores were not significantly correlated, the mean score for the parents' reports was used to capture the average effect. The researcher found that the Latin growth curve modeling was the most appropriate technique for the intended study, as it performs as a longitudinal analytic technique estimating growth over a period of time. Because CBCL and parent interview were conducted to examine the child's externalizing behaviors and the parent-to-child relationship, the researcher utilizes the chi-square test. This chi-square test was able to determine LGC as an appropriate tool, indicating that boys had higher average externalizing behaviors at baseline than girls. In addition, poorer parent-child relationships were significantly related to higher externalizing problems at baseline. This indicates that youth of incarcerated parents demonstrated an increase in externalizing concerns over time compared to youth with no history of parental incarceration. Thank you.